Let's jump right in. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to start each, there's like 10 of them. I'm going to start each one with a question. This one is, which blog posts are getting seen the most? So you're going to see a question. And then below that, I've got a couple of emojis. You're probably one of these two emojis. Either this is going to be super useful to you, you can go do it right away. We publish articles, and they're all in a directory. Or it's going to be more like interesting for you. Now you know that's possible, and it's got the thinking emoji. You've been introduced to the concept. No, we're not really doing content. And then the next slides will be the step-by-step process for answering that question in analytics with the report marked out on the left, right? That's the all pages report. You're going to filter it for blog, switch to the comparison view, boom. Which of your blog posts are getting seen the most? At the end of that, I've got another slide that shows you some tips for how to take action, because it's my strong belief, it's my pet peeve, my personal project, my passion, to use analytics for decision making and not just for reporting. I've said this before, reports do not affect your marketing. Reports don't affect marketing. They're just reports. Actions affect marketing. Insights affect actions. So I want to use analytics to answer questions and then so you can take an action. So that's what this last slide is going to be about. And then down there at the bottom, you're going to see exactly the moment, this was at second number 30, exactly the moment in which the video has that step-by-step, play-by-play process. So go back, watch it in slow motion, play it, pause it, watch it over and over if it sounded complicated, because this is a whole bunch of stuff in a very short time. We've got 42 minutes left. Let's do it. First, why do I love analytics? Why do I care about it? Why do we pay attention to this? Some people say, oh, I'd like to check the results of things, but I'm really kind of busy. I don't really have time. To me, that sounds weird, because that's the main reason to use it. The reason to use analytics is to stop wasting time and to abandon those tactics and processes that don't make a difference. I use analytics because I'm busy. This is why I use Google Analytics. I've got a 1-year-old, and I don't have time to publish a whole bunch of medium quality stuff that doesn't really get results. I don't have time to keep putting out things that aren't performing. I have a lot to do. I've got popsicles to make. I blend mangoes and yogurt together, and she mushes them all over her face. I've got a 3-year-old boy to take care of. They're getting along great. So this is the main use for analytics, is to be more effective and efficient with your time, right? To know what to do, right? You can't drive a car without a dashboard. You can't do marketing without analytics. So let's jump in. We're going to start with this one. Very valuable, very useful. What phrases does this page rank for? Analytics will show you this in minutes. Here's how. If you've got Google Search Console connected to Analytics, this will be really practical. You can go do this today. If you don't have Search Console connected, or you're not getting any search traffic, this might be just interesting. So if you go to the Acquisition Search Console Landing Pages report, it's got a list of every page that's ever gotten any results from search. It's right there. When you click on one of these URLs, you drill down to that URL, and it shows you a list of every phrase that page is getting performance from in search. Blah, 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 profile picture. And on the right, it's got average position. That's the ranking for that phrase over that, averaged out over that duration of time. As soon as you know what these pages are performing for, you know the smallest action that will give you the biggest outcome. Because Google just told you all of your striking distance phrases for that page. This is a list of all the phrases that page could rank higher for if I made the topic more focused on that page, if I built the content up to answer more of those questions. So tips for that, of course, reconsider. Maybe that page is ranking for a phrase you weren't even aware of. Super common. We can get more traffic for almost any website in minutes by just finding the phrases that the pages were ranking for accidentally and go sharpening the focus on that. Or realign it with that topic. Make sure it incorporates all those phrases. Add detail, add length, add statistics, add video, add examples, add contributor quotes. Make it a better page. This is showing you exactly the pages that will get the greatest improvement in visibility through small improvements, through small changes. It's literally like black and white on the page. By the way, quick plug, MarketMuse will tell you, this software, these guys here, Jeff's company, that tool will tell you all the semantically related phrases. Incorporating those into the page will give you better results very quickly. That is at time code 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I keep putting that blog post, that link down there. Okay, if that didn't work for you, if when you went to Google Search Console and it showed this, you just haven't connected them yet. I'm not going to show, it's pretty boring to show screenshots for how to connect Search Console to Analytics. Just search for how to set up Google Analytics. We made a video for it. It's on the Orbit Media site. Scroll down and you can find that video. It's how to search for how to set up Google Analytics. It's in there. Next, what are people searching for on our website? If you've got a little search box on your website, people are using that to find stuff fast. You put it there as a convenience for your visitor. But as a marketer, you use it as a listening tool to figure out what people are trying to get from your site. There's very few places in the world where your audience is literally typing what they want. This is one of them. It's like you can analyze chat logs. You can look at your keyword performance. You can look at your site search report. Literally, your audience is telling you what they want from you. It's amazing. Data-driven empathy. What do they need? That's the job of the content marketer. Solve for X. Meet people's information needs. That's what this report's going to do. So if you've got a site search tool, this will be really useful, very practical. You can do it right away. It's that box up there at the top. That box, you need to set it up by going to View Settings. It's within the views. Maybe you're familiar. Account, Property, View. That's grandpa, that's the parents, that's the children. You know how this works, right? Inside the View Settings, there's a little toggle to turn on Site Search. Turn on Site Search, and then you need to add the query parameter. Sounds complicated. What's the query parameter? I didn't know either. If you go search for anything on your website, this site I just searched for Hawaii. You see how Hawaii just got pushed into the address bar? Right before the word Hawaii, there's a query parameter. On this site, it's search_term. All I need to do is take that little query parameter. I'm going to use it. By the way, here's some internet trivia. Google's query parameter is Q. This is how the internet works. Search terms get pushed to the address bars. That means it can be sucked out of there by Google Analytics. So put the query parameter into that little box and click Save. Now when you go to the search terms report, Google is going to show you a list of everything that people are searching for on your website. Wow, quite useful. You could tell what people want from you. The search term report shows you all these phrases in one long list. I'm going to do something a little bit fancier by adding another column to this report. That first column is always the dimension. Everything on the right are the metrics. There's only two things in analytics: dimensions, which is the thing, and the metrics, which is how much of the thing. Dimensions are basically the reports. So this is the primary dimension, the first dimension. If you add a secondary dimension from that little drop-down, there's a cool combination that will get you interesting insights fast. Add the exit page. The exit page dimension on the search terms report will show you people who searched for what left from where. What's about to happen? People that searched for Guatemala left from the Guatemala page. Cool, makes sense, not weird. People that searched for Peru left from the Peru page. That makes sense, I get it. People that searched for the packing list left from the search results page. That's not right. Why would they leave from the search results page? It's because they didn't see what they were looking for. In seconds, right? In how many clicks? 5 clicks? I'm seeing a list. This is the report of broken dreams. It's showing you all the ways in which your website is unsatisfying in one view, right? So obviously, that page needs to have a better, I need a page of content on that topic. There's another combination of dimensions, primary and secondary dimensions, that can give you insights here, which was the page that they searched from. If I had a secondary dimension for the start page, I can see people, where is the information need unmet? On this website, everyone's trying to get the opt-out information. Okay, this client is not that worried about that audience. They're trying to get away from them. But still, it's interesting to see from which pages, start, I type in start, I'm going to see the secondary dimension for start pages. From which pages were people trying to find the opt-out information? There you go. This basically shows you exactly which pages are not answering which questions. Data-driven empathy, measuring content performance. The performance of that content on that page is lacking, or else why would they go up to the search box? They didn't want to have to search. Visitors don't want to have to search for things. There's a long way between the mouse and the keyboard, and they don't want to go all that way, like hundreds of miles. It's like this far, but it pisses them off. We don't want to have to use the keyboard. We want to tap and click. Quick question. Exit rate would be more similar to the previous page. The search terms exit rate number should show presumably what percentage of people left without clicking on a search result. Yeah, the start page report would be from where they wanted that information. They might not have exited. They might have kept digging. In this example, the visitor kept digging, you can see. Exit rate's also useful. This also actually shows you the performance of your labels for things. I'm hiding the names to protect the innocent, but if you've got a site like this that talks, this is a real client, but I changed it, excavators and earth moving. What do? We have content about excavators and earth moving. Do you really? Is that what it's called? Everybody's looking for bulldozers. Maybe it's not called earth moving. Maybe the performance of that label is missed. Maybe there's a gap there. Call it what people call it. This is like the self-centered marketer, right? Call it what you want to call it, or call it what they call it. I'm going to recommend the more empathetic approach. So first rule, go search for everything that people are searching for. See what they see. Why would they be searching for that? Do you have a page that isn't ranking for that? Right? Do you have a packing list? In that case, the client had a packing list, but they called it what to bring. It wasn't ranking in their own search tool. You could hate SEO, but you can't really argue against optimizing your own content to rank in your own search tool on your own website. That's a type of SEO, right? Site search SEO. Maybe you didn't have a packing list. Go make the packing list, right? And then maybe you shouldn't even have to use this search tool. Why are they going to that, right? You could just adjust your navigation to help people find what they want by tapping or clicking instead of having to type it in. I kind of love that one. Is the site working well in every browser? This is so effective and efficient that probably everyone should do this right away. If you got fancy programming especially, you might find that there's a browser compatibility issue, which will jump out at you in black and white. This is under the audience reports. I don't use these as much. Audience reports are also useful. Audience report, technology, browser OS, is going to show you a list of every browser that people use to get to use your website. The bounce rate for each browser is going to show you what percentage of these people left without seeing even a second page. And if I switch to the comparison view, it's going to show me at a glance if certain browsers seem to be having a problem. Wow. Right away, I get a sense, right? Browser compatibility testing is a huge job. But you can use the analytics to help you find a giant shortcut. It's really fast. There's also, this was something I saw just a few weeks ago, and they're letting me share the slides. Anyone here have e-commerce or okay? This one surprised me. There is a client, this is literally tens of millions of dollars flowing through this website. This is over a couple of months, so over a span of a year, it'll be like a $50, $100 million website. Even though, 60% of visitors are on Chrome, only 44% of sales are on Chrome. What's wrong? If I switch to the comparison view for the conversion rate, the e-commerce conversion rate, Chrome is an underperforming browser. When I drilled down from Chrome, you could see there was a version of Chrome from which nobody could buy. There was like an autofill box that was blocking the conversion. The person couldn't actually buy. We think that solving that problem will be worth, yeah, there it is. 0.23% of visitors could buy. I guess those were the Chrome users who just installed the browser, who had never used autofill before. So it was a big problem. I think that one's worth, for sure, tens of millions of dollars. I'm not exaggerating. We just talked about this. I think it's probably like a $10 million lift from fixing that one thing. Like the smallest action with the biggest outcome that I've ever seen in digital, visible right there in that report. Literally showing you. Like, why would the conversion rate be 96% lower for that audience? That's crazy. So these things are big issues that sometimes analytics will show you high impact actions. So do some browsers have higher conversion rates, higher bounce rates than others? Take a look. It's 4 clicks. It's easy to find. And do some browsers have conversion rates, or versions of browsers have conversion rates that are lower than others? Could be something seriously wrong, especially for sites with fancy programming. Navigation performance is something that I think is almost rare. It's rare for me to meet someone who can tell me, they have a sense. You've got a bunch of labels in your navigation, right? You've got some drop-down menus. You've got a bunch of stuff you can click on. What gets clicked? How often? What gets clicked the most on your website? What gets clicked the least on your website? Most marketers don't know. Yet the answer is seconds away. This is really useful for those that have a bunch of navigation on their site. Maybe you've got big drop-down menus, the so-called mega drop-downs. The mega drop-down menus will show you if there's a bunch of people who are using that, a bunch of different options. This is a site, mega drop-downs, whole bunch of options. You can click on tons of stuff on this website. What gets clicked the most? What gets clicked the least? We're about to find out. From the All Pages report, if you go let's just go to the home page. There it is. It's the top row. Click on the home page. It's going to show you another report that basically is the same report with just one row. Okay? Andy, that was boring. I'm looking at less data now. I just clicked on that row, and I'm only seeing that row. But once you've drilled down from there, there's a button that I think most people miss. It's the navigation summary. It's one of my favorites. It shows where people go from where people go from where. People who came to this page came from where, people who leave from this page go where. The navigation summary at a glance will show you where people are going from this page. See all those things on the right? That's the performance of your navigation. That's the percentage of people who did what from here. People who left the home page went to where. In seconds, you get all kinds of ideas, right? It's common for people to design stuff and assume that it's going to work as they expected. This is what web designers do, right? They make stuff and they think, oh, I know how people are going to use this. Everyone's going to love the slides. Everyone goes to the playground to play on the slides, right? The slides are so much fun. I made these great slides for the kids to play on. No one's using the slides. It's very common. I'd be surprised if we looked at any of your pages, any of your navigation performance, and didn't instantly find that there were little things that get clicked a lot. There were big things that almost never get clicked. Does that call to action work? You're about to find out. You can tell in seconds, right? You can see what percentage of people took that action. The navigation summary is that useful. You're measuring the performance of the content. All these button labels are how effective. So right away you can see if this thing is working or not. Often, website, 6 items, drop-down menu. On the third item, the third drop-down, that's the most common click. Maybe that should be promoted, surfaced, elevated to the top-level navigation, totally normal. Or maybe there's a really valuable content on a page that rarely gets visited. Really valuable content. You worked hard on that video? Why did you put it way down there on that page that almost no one flows through to? Right? Or if you look at drop-down navigation performance, it's very common for people to skip the top label. Drop-downs encourage people to move past the top-level page. The eye moves faster than the mouse. Oh, I'll go up there. Drop-down appears. Moment of friction. Oh, I've got more options. I guess I got to choose one of these. They've moved down. They make a choice. They skipped your top-level page, which had your best testimonials, those linked to those awesome case studies, right? All the sales page performance. The site might have been encouraging people to move past that. Maybe just get rid of the drop-down. I joke in doing web design 15 years ago, we would always try to save the visitor a click, like we were saving whales. No, I don't want them to have to click. We're going to, they can go anywhere from anywhere. Is that really ideal? Or should we create a path that guides them through a series of messages from page to page, right? This is a question of usability, of messaging, of prioritization, of guiding the visitor, data-driven empathy, what's working, what's not. Super common. And if you can take something away, everything that's left just got easier to find. Something like a third of our clients, we ask them what they like, what websites they like, they say Apple. When you ask them why they like Apple, they say, I like clean, modern design. What are they saying they like? White space. Marketers, though, didn't get the message. They keep adding more crap to pages until there's so much visual noise that everything's harder to find. Here's a rule. Don't add anything new to your website until you've taken something else away. What should you take away? The worst performing thing. What's the worst performing thing? The navigation summary will show you. Right? Data-driven empathy, the performance of content.